Money and happiness. It seems like a lot of people try to make a lot of money in the hopes of becoming happy. And people always say that money cannot buy happiness. And it seems like everyone knows this, but they still try to make a lot of money. It seems like it's the only way to actually be happy. And if you've clicked on this video, I'm sure you know that's not the case, and you know that money cannot buy happiness. But what is it about money that makes people strive for it? And it pulls so many people into this game of like hustle culture, trying to make a lot of money, just chasing money, 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 money. And it really doesn't make any sense. Just because happiness is something entirely different. Sure, money can bring stability. Money can make you socially more, let's say, powerful. You have more authority. You can do so much with money. You can travel. You can buy the things you want. Um, Materialism as well is very like heavily linked into this. And you can do so much with money, but how does that guarantee happiness? It doesn't. It really doesn't. And we were taught from a very young age to work, 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 make a lot of money, chase that dream, become rich, as if that's like the end goal. And then after you become rich, you're like suddenly happy, and then you're gonna be happy till you die, which doesn't make any sense. And you see a lot of people without money and they're happy. And you see a lot of people with money and they're not happy. So it doesn't quite work like that. But then, so the question is, why do we chase money? Obviously, if someone's really struggling, they're really poor, they don't have any money at all, it makes sense. You need the money, obviously, to have a good life. Money is not inherently bad, by the way. I'm not trying to say that. And at the end of the video, I'll talk about how money can be good and how money can bring happiness as well. But for now, let's agree that you need money, obviously, to live a good life. That that's a given. But money for happiness is not. Happiness is something else. Happiness comes from contentment. I remember a close friend of mine, we were talking and he told me like, why don't you try this pineapple? This is the fanciest pineapple that we have like in that market, whatever. And he wanted me to try the best pineapple so that I understand what it's like to have like really fancy fruits, I guess. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to try it. And he was like, why? You should try it. It's good. I was like, I'm really happy not knowing what the best pineapple tastes like because now I can enjoy all sorts of pineapples. I'm happy with any pineapple. And I'm always happy. I'm grateful for the worst pineapple. I don't need the best pineapple to feel happy because that way I'm really increasing and like raising the bar for my happiness and the standards for happiness, which doesn't make any sense. And that can make it harder for you to be content. So I've always felt happy having so little just because I don't need it. I don't need to have a fancy car. I don't need to live in a big mansion. I don't need to have a fancy watch, whatever, like all the materialism stuff. I don't need the latest or like the newest iPhone. I don't need it. And if people chase money for materialism, then that doesn't work at all because you're always going to need more and more and more. Are you going to be consumed by the money at some point and you're going to live for the money? Money's not going to live for you, you're going to live for it. So the notion of money bringing happiness is completely false. And there's this like very famous quote. I can't remember what it sounds like or how it goes, but It's something along the lines of like, oh, it's better to cry in a Bugatti or something rather than on a bicycle or something. I mean, I see the point, but again, what they're trying to say is it's better to feel stable, have a sort of like dignified way of living, have enough money to, I don't know, if you need healthcare, something like that, you can afford it. Obviously, that's correct. Obviously, you need money for that. But nowadays, it seems like people want more and more and more. I want to be a millionaire by like 25. I want to be a billionaire, things like that. If that's truly what you want, go for it. If you think it's going to bring you happiness, then I'm afraid to tell you that it won't. And I personally know a lot of people that are rich. I know millionaires, billionaires, people my age and older people as well. And I've been friends with, not friends, but like acquaintances, I guess, with some of them. And we're just living the same life, man. Exactly the same life. I'm very grateful that I come from a well off family. I've, I guess in this department, I might be a bit naive in the sense that I've not really struggled financially a lot. I mean, some periods of my life maybe, but not overall. But I have appreciation for money, as in like I don't splurge or think like um, I don't waste money if that makes sense. Like I appreciate money and I appreciate things that are, even if it's something's like cheap or whatever, I still appreciate it. But yeah, sorry for the digression. Just going back to the story about the friends and stuff. And I noticed something. I noticed that the average person, I'm not talking about the poor person because that's completely different. I'm talking about the average person who can afford their daily living and has a roof over their head. That person has pretty much everything that the rich person has. I know this sounds a bit absurd for some people because a lot of people I know these days, I feel like especially men my age as well, they're really passionate about the hustle culture. They really want to work hard. I mean, I respect the grind. I respect hard work, but I'm not into that game of chasing money or career, whatever. I'm not into that. So yeah, how is that even possible? Because the rich person can have. I know a person who told me personally that they can order ice cream from a different country that can he can have the ice cream like shipped to him, I guess, by a like private jet or something. It's something absurd. I didn't even care because I can just have ice cream here from any place nearby. I don't have to get it from another country. But the point is, they have like the rich person can have the ice cream, and you can have the ice cream as well. It might be a bit different, but you're still having the same thing. It's not like the rich person is having something extraordinary, like something out of this world, like something you've never tried. You can almost have everything that the rich person has. They might have the, I don't know, iPhone 16, 17, whatever. I don't even know what the newest iPhone is. And you have like iPhone, I don't know, iPhone like, X. I don't know, it's like just an old iPhone. You still have an iPhone and they have an iPhone. So it doesn't matter. It's just a new one, but you still have the same thing. And the rich person can, let's say, enjoy like a private beach. They have a private beach and they get to enjoy it. And they have like fancy supercars. And you can also enjoy the beach. You can go to a public beach and it's still the same sea, the same water, the same everything. It's just that they have a private beach and you have a public beach. It's still a beach. And you have a car that can get you from point A to point B, and they have a car that gets them from point A to point B as well. But it's just a fancier option compared to yours. But you still have the same exact thing. Let's say they go to a restaurant and they have like really fancy sushi, just very expensive, like I don't know, the most expensive sushi. You can go to, I don't know, like Itsu or something, and you can have really cheap sushi, but it's still sushi at the end of the day. It's still sushi. If you're content and you teach yourself contentment if you're not with having cheap things or like just basic simple things, you can achieve happiness greater than the rich person can. It's really doable, and I've seen it over and over and over. In fact, a lot of rich people, I'm not saying all of them are bad, by the way, some of them are amazing, some of them are really good people. But the stereotype about rich people is what I'm talking about. Many of them are not happy at all, and they're just like bored and sick of it. They can have, I've seen it in real life. Um, they, let's say, have the best steak on earth, and they just eat it. And they're just like, whatever, man. Like, I can have this tomorrow as well, and the day after, and the day after. It's not a big deal. But you have like a steak from, I don't know, a nearby supermarket, and it's not even that high of quality, and you love it. You're having so much fun. Oh, like I can finally have some steak. It's amazing. Who objectively has higher happiness levels? You. So think about happiness is very much subjective and is very much within your head. It's the way you look at things. Money cannot buy happiness. Happiness is an sort of an abstract thing. It's not something you can buy. Because if you can buy happiness, it'd be very stupid. You can just like buy happiness. That's oh, how easy. Like, it's obviously more complex than that. Not to sound like condescending or anything like that. I'm sorry, but like it's more complex and not so straightforward. Nothing in life is so straightforward. It's always very complicated. So yeah, the point is you can have almost everything that the rich person can. Almost everything. Aside obviously from things like again healthcare, necessities like a house, things like that. I'm talking about normal people, like an average person who's living in a flat, even if they're sharing with another person or people. At least they have a roof over their head, and at least they can afford their daily living. They're living the life, man. They're living the life. Obviously, not having debt and things like that. Just making a niche comparison here. But if you go out and walk in the city and you look at the beautiful trees and nature and you just enjoy God's creation, the rich person has the same experience. They go out and they see the same things. It's not like they're seeing life in like, I don't know, 4K life and you're getting like the scuffed version, like you're only seeing it like 144p or something. No, you're seeing the exact same things. You have the same eyes, same things. You have limbs. It's the same experience. And sometimes this is the paradox: is when you don't have a lot, is when you're happier. Basically, it's just that pineapple example again. Like, don't raise the bar of happiness and the standards of happiness. Don't raise it. Keep it low. Keep it low. If you're having fun and you're enjoying yourself, I don't know, going out on a simple walk that costs you nothing, amazing. You don't need to drive the most amazing car, whatever. You don't need it. You're happy already. You're there. You're there. And that's the thing about happiness. It's just contentment in disguise. Being content is everything. Yeah, so that's, I guess, the way people see money these days. They see it as the solution to all their problems, and if I make enough money, I'm gonna be stable and happy, and somehow everything's gonna be amazing. It doesn't fix anything. Obviously it does if you had problems in the past, but like if you're already living a normal life and you just have more money, there's only so much you can do with it. There's only so much you can do with it. And I might get some people like saying things like, "Oh, I can quit the job that I hate," and things like that. Obviously, I agree with all of those things. Quitting the job that you hate, um, feeling financially secure, things like that. Amazing. These things are things that we all want. But the extras, I'm talking about the extra. Just getting that, as I said, like keep saying the car example, it can be anything. The, I don't know, like a necklace that you want, or a new pair of shoes that you want, or anything materialistic, or like traveling to other countries, things like that. You might want to travel somewhere. Let's say you want to go to like, I don't know, like Iceland or something, you want to see the northern lights. Okay, you might not be able to, but you can watch it on YouTube. I know it sounds a bit silly, but you can make do with having not a lot of money, and you can be happy without that much money. And so this is, I guess, how money has become so important these days. Like, we get up from bed to go to a job that we hate just to make enough money, and then we try to do anything to make extra cash on the side, work like part-time job, whatever, on the side. We do so much. We're trying to like run a business, whatever. For example, like this YouTube channel, I'm just doing it for, like, I'm just trying to help people. I'm not gonna monetize it. I don't want to sell anything. I just do it because I enjoy it, and I want to help people, and I want to philosophize and express my thoughts and ideas. I don't want anything out of this. But a lot of people try to sell you things, and it's like, I don't know, man. It becomes so, like, not authentic. Like, everything's incentivized by money. Like, oh, I'll tell you this advice, but I want your money in return, or I want your attention in return, or I want your attention will bring me money eventually, or I want to sell you something, whatever. And when money loses that grip over people, and when people start to be authentic without this pressure of money, I want to make more money, I want to be happier, I want more money. No, when you just chill and relax and notice that, you know what, I have everything that I need. I have functional limbs, I have eyes that I can see life's beauty with, I can touch things, I have food, I can sleep, I have a bed, you know. When you realize that, you're like, you know what, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need anything more. I don't need anything more on the physical slash materialistic side. So everything's become incentivized by money. Almost everything. It's really rare to see something being done not for money. Even people on YouTube who give like donations and charity and things like that, they film it. They film it because they're gonna get views and it's gonna make them money. Like, come on, man. Like, what is that? Where's the humanity in that? It's it's really weird. And I guess in my case, I'm not like trying to boast or anything like that, but since I'm not making this channel for money, I'm not making these videos for money. This is real me. I'm talking. I don't care about like the perfect thumbnail, algorithm, whatever. I don't care. I'm making this video exactly as it is, raw, unedited. This is me, Faisal, speaking, unfiltered. This is how it is. If I had the idea in my head that I wanted to do this for money, I would have done things so differently. I'd be like, oh, you know what? I need to upload a certain number of videos per day, a certain time, and it needs to be like short and I don't know, snappy, fast for people so people watch it, and I need to say the right things, and I need to, I don't know, like stimulate people and do the right effects and sound. I'm just like, I'm doing what everyone else is doing for money. So once you detach from that money seeking culture, you really start to flourish as a person, and your real personality shows, and your real self shows. Yeah, sorry, like I'm kind of rambling here, talking about something completely different, but hopefully you can still make sense of the points that I've been mentioning. So just to like recap, I guess, money cannot buy happiness, but being content will make you happy. And being content is something you can do whenever, wherever, right? It's just a realization that goes into your head like, oh, I actually have so much. I'm so grateful. Gratitude. And when you're content, you don't feel like you need more money. You might feel like you need healthier relationships. You might feel like you need to spend your time more wisely, pursue your passion, I don't know, hobbies, purpose, whatever. You might feel like you want to improve your life, but not on the financial side. And when I say this, I'm going to reiterate this again. I don't mean enough money for a basic life. I mean extra money that people are seeking, sort of in like in a I guess like hedonistic way in a way. Not to sound judgmental, but like unnecessary money, if that makes sense. However, I'm gonna mention a point in a bit where extra money can be good and can bring you happiness. And this is like a not a controversial take, but it's not a usual take. And it's a bit spiritual, so I guess if you're spiritual, listen to it. If you're not, then you can skip it. But yeah, so that's my take on money, hustle culture, happiness, and you versus the rich person. And I think not being rich is actually a blessing. And I don't mean poor, okay? I mean not rich. It's a blessing because it makes you see life in a good way and it makes you really appreciative. And once you're appreciative, you really enjoy everything. You're just like happy all the time. Anything makes you happy. And that's a good thing. Not always, right? Because people can like abuse that, I guess. Not to sound like nihilistic or depressing, but you know what I mean. But like you can really appreciate everything. Again, it's the pineapple example, right? I remember like the rich people I used to be around, and they used to say things like, they didn't say this like verbatim, but I'm just like making up, I guess, an example of what I think they used to say, if that makes sense. Things like, oh, this is the best thing like on the market. I want this. I want the best, the best, the best. I hope I'm making sense. Like they want the best thing available. They make comparisons like, oh, but this is like cheap compared to that. This is like unique. This is like, I don't know, the only one like being like the only exclusive watch being like sold in the whole world. Whatever. Like, I don't care, man. Like, I genuinely don't care. Just because, why are you raising the bar so high? Tell me, please. Like, why? Why am I making it so hard for myself to be happy? It's like I'm torturing myself. You know what I mean? And this also, like, in a weird way, I'm gonna link it. Like, this is a digression, but I'm gonna do it anyways, just because, again, I'm doing this channel just for fun. It's like when people get used to like a certain beauty standard as well. Like, there's like, I don't know, like, let's say a guy towards a girl, right? So there's like, oh, I want this like level of beauty, things like that, like in my partner, and they're just like obsessed with raising the bar. She has to be like this, and she has to be like that, and whatever. Why did you raise the bar in the first place? Like before all these things that came to you through like social media, watching like things that make you raise the bar higher and higher and higher. Before all of that, you were happy with a normal girl, but you made it so hard on yourself, and now you can barely be happy with anyone. And I'm not saying to settle for like anyone. No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, you practically made it impossible for yourself to be happy with a partner. So this is another sort of angle to this. Not only materialism, but it can be applied to other things as well. And yeah, so that's it for this part. And now I want to mention how money can bring you happiness in a practical way. So let's say you're a rich person, rich as in like a multi-millionaire, you have a lot of money to spend and it wouldn't hurt you to spend it. So yeah, let's say you're that. And you spend so much money on yourself and you buy yourself all the things you've always wanted and you've traveled everywhere and you've done everything you ever wanted to do. And at some point you're like, like I've had enough. Like I'm getting way too used to this. I don't care for it. At some point, you're gonna get that because you're human. And part of being human is you can't extract endless happiness. At some point, it's like the pain pleasure sort of balance in the dopamine system. You can't have pleasure all the time. There has to be some pain as well. That, like, the highs have to come down at some point. So at some point, you're like, that's it. This is all the money I have, and I'm just gonna make more money because you know what? This is the only way to be happy. You just get addicted to actually making money rather than using the money or enjoying the money. But there is a way to be happy with a lot of money, which is spending it on others, helping people. If you're a multimillionaire, so the example we said, what you can do is donate to charity. You might go, let's say, to like an orphanage, maybe adopt a kid, or maybe pay for their daily living, or like maybe even buy them like an apartment or a house or something. I don't know, like a widow, for example, a woman who's lost her husband, she has kids, single mom, go help her, pay for everything she needs, buy her a house, retire her. Now that's a way you can be really happy with the money. So money can bring happiness, not through you using it on other people. Because selfishness does not make you happy. Does not make you happy. And it makes you really anxious because you always want to please yourself, and you're worried about getting scammed, and you're worried about not doing the best thing for yourself, and you're like always on the edge. But if you let go of that and become more selfless, and you say, you know what, like I'm gonna spend my money on the people that I love, my mom, my dad, my siblings, my neighbors, my community, strangers as well, anyone on the street, a homeless person, help them get back on their feet. That's a way money can bring you happiness. It can bring you a lot of happiness. And it's really good. It's really good. Being charitable and generous is amazing, and it brings so much happiness. I heard a story recently about a millionaire who used to spend all his money on himself, just buying everything, and everything like he wants, he gets basically. And one time, a person came to him and he was like, "Can you help us pay for these kids like wheelchairs? I think, or like something, because I think they were like handicapped children, so they had like special needs, and they needed like special wheelchairs, something like that." He was like, "No, like I don't want to do it." Like he was just not used to spending money on people. He wanted everything for himself. And the other person tried like with him, and he insisted like, "Oh, please help us, like please come and see them, like with me and see these kids yourself, and let them talk to you, like, you know what I mean." And he went, he agreed, and he went. And he paid for everything. He paid for their special wheelchairs and all of that. And then when he saw the kids, and he saw the happiness in their faces and how they appreciated it so much. They were like little kids, I think, like maybe 5 year olds. I don't know, like small kids. And one of them like hugged him and he was like, "Thank you so much, and thank you for helping us," and things like that. And that millionaire said, after that incident, he just his life changed. His life changed. He started donating so much and helping people, anyone in need, and things like that, just from that single incident. Because the happiness that he felt when he saw the faces of those kids was just something he had never experienced before, ever. And he said that himself. So that was a very interesting one, which goes to show that living for yourself does not bring happiness. Protecting your peace, caring for yourself, being good with yourself, loving yourself is important. All of these things are important, of course. But what I'm saying is excessive self love, as in, like, I just want to do this for me. I just want to make this money for me. Me, 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 me. Yeah, me, me, me is going to lead to a lot of depression. Me, me is not good. yeah, so that's a way money can bring happiness. And so that was more of a practical thing. On the spiritual side as well, it can get a little bit deeper than that. Not a little bit, I think a lot deeper than that. And in my laptop here, I have two quotes, hadiths. You might not be Muslims, you might not know this, but like a hadith is basically a saying of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And yeah, I want to read them to you. Just give me a second. Okay, so there is a hadith that says, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, says, "How excellent is righteous wealth for a righteous man." So here, the context is that money is not inherently bad. You see a lot of people who are more like spiritual, they're like, oh, I don't want anything of this world. I don't want money. I don't want anything. I just want to live like in a small room and I've given up all my worldly pleasures. That's not how we see it. And I'm Muslim, by the way. So when I say me, I mean Muslims. Having money is good. Having a lot of money is good because you can help people with it. And helping people means you get good deeds by God. So that's beautiful because you're helping them and you're helping yourself ultimately. And that can get you to heaven as well. So, how excellent is righteous wealth for a righteous man? So, this means that wealth is not inherently bad. Money is not inherently bad, it's how you use it. So, if you utilize it in good, it's going to be good and it can bring you happiness and it will bring you closer and closer to heaven. Okay. And this is another hadith, so a saying of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And this talks about greed. And this links back to the point of not being content. It says, if the son of Adam had a valley full of gold, he would want to have two valleys. Nothing fills his mouth but the dust of the grave. So, what this means is, if he had a valley of gold, he would want a second one. If he had two, he would want three. 3, 4, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. He will never be content. And the only thing that's going to make him content, here it says, nothing fills his mouth but the dust of the grave. Which means that, if I understand it correctly, which means that he'll never be content till he dies. So, and this doesn't mean that this is not a generalization like everyone's like that inherently. No, it just means that this is a propensity, a tendency of people. Unless you've tried to work against that and you try to sort of realign yourself with with being content, you can overcome that. Otherwise, they have the propensity to be like that. So, two lessons from these two hadiths is contentment and that money isn't inherently bad. It's not. It depends on how you use it. Yeah, so that's me. I think I've said everything I wanted to say. I apologize if the video wasn't very clear and the thoughts were kind of like intertwined and got a little bit confusing, but I hope it made sense. And I hope at least one person benefits from this. And I just want to say that happiness is found in contentment. Money isn't inherently bad. It can be really good if you use it to help people. And if you're someone who believes in God, it can get you to heaven as well. So having money and working towards making a lot of money isn't necessarily bad. But there has to be balance for everything and to everything. And that's me. Thank you for watching, and I wish you a good day, good evening, wherever you are.